Well, good morning. Blessed Monday morning to you. In today's episode, I'm going to talk to you about forgiveness means onward. Now, I realize that I haven't convinced some of you to forgive at all. And it's because you're comfortable with your decision not to forgive. You're comfortable being in pain. You're comfortable always being angry and bitter. Once you do something long enough, it becomes a part of you. And that part of you is just like washing your hair or brushing your teeth. You are always going to dislike. You're going to always hate. You're going to always not be able to stand them. You're going to always be in pain. You're going to always want revenge. You're going to always hurt yourself. I realize it's your decision. You have heard now 10 episodes on forgiveness, beginning with who did it. First of all, I ask you to identify who hurt you. In other words, who is this that you're not forgiving? And I ask you to identify that for yourself. You didn't have to tell me, but I needed you to identify who hurt you. And I'm sure you did, which is why you probably still want to hang on to not forgiving them. Whoever it was. And then the next thing I talked about was unforgiveness in the beginning. And what that means is once you find out who did it, or remember who did it, or recall who did it, however you want to say that, then that unforgiveness began. It began in your life. It ran through your heart, stuck in your mind, always replayed in your recall. And that was the beginning of your unforgiveness. And then we talked about unforgiveness stuck in the middle, because some of you have considered forgiving. And then you go back and recall what happened and you get stuck again. Well, maybe I should forgive them. Maybe I should bury the hatchet. Maybe I'm telling you that God says, you don't forgive, I will not forgive you. If that doesn't mean anything to you, there's nothing I can do about that. All I am is a messenger. All I am is your example. All I am is a person sharing their experience. I have been where you are. And I'm trying to get you to where I am now. But unless you put in the work, unless you put in the prayer life, unless you seek God to help you, you're going to be stuck in the middle always. And after a while, the middle becomes lopsided and it overlaps the unforgiveness. So now you're back to square one. And I tried to exemplify that unforgiveness is ugly. I put on makeup, I made up my face, but when I forgave, I cleaned all that up. Because I wanted you to get an idea of what you're doing to your insides. All that ugliness is inside of you. And all I did was just bring it to the outside. But the truth is, if you get rid of that ugliness that's inside, then when you smile, you're really smiling. When people say, oh, you're such a beautiful woman or man, or you're such a beautiful person, you actually feel that inside because you're free from hanging on to something that is slowly but surely destroying you. destroying your mind, continuously breaking your heart. And then I talked about how do you break free? Because if you don't give this thing up, you're going to be forever bound. And you need to break free from it, get rid of it, get over it, and start forgiving folks. And I do not care if they do not forgive you back. You have to get out of the notion that, why should I forgive them? Some people are not worth forgiving. Everybody's worth forgiving. Because if you weren't worth forgiving, Christ would not have ever died for you in order that you could be sin free. And every little thing you've done in your life that was not in his order, that you know was not in his order, that you know you hurt somebody else, you said some harsh words, you did some wrong things, and he forgave you. So everybody's worth forgiving. I don't care what the crime was: murder, molestation, stealing, relationship challenges, children. Everybody's worth forgiving. And you're going to have to be the person that want to see Jesus bad enough to forgive him. You're going to have to be that person. Now, okay, if you don't want to see Jesus bad enough, cool. That's still your decision. But I'm telling you, at 69 years old, I've been waiting all my life just to gaze upon his face. So you continue to do you, as they say. If forgiveness is not your thing, okay, I'm just trying to help you help yourself. Then I told you or gave you an example of unforgiveness versus forgiveness. It's a fight. It's a fight. And you lose when you don't forgive. You put on the gloves and you don't train for it. You say, I'm going to forgive, and then next thing you know, your hands are down. You have to train for it. Prayer and supplication. You have to pray, train, think, believe, and do. That's what you have to do in order to forgive. And forgiveness heals unforgiveness. See, because the unforgiveness is the illness here. And forgiveness is the cure to the illness of unforgiveness. So therefore, forgiveness heals you. It really does heal you. And unless you do it, and unless you try it, then what I'm saying means nothing. But I know that God would not have had me be on this channel talking about forgiveness if it wouldn't help someone. And all it needs to do is just help one. I'm not in a popularity contest. I'm not trying to start a talk show. None of that. I'm just trying to help you because I have a women's ministry that says I need to help women. And if men are listening to this, you need to help when it comes to forgiving too. But I'm just saying my purpose is to share the experience that I had unforgiving that has now long since turned into forgiveness. And I'm so glad about it. Oh, I'm so glad about it. Why? Because forgiveness is healthy. Now, I've got some health issues. I think we all have some health issues. But when it comes to my mental capacity, I am healthy. Unforgiving somebody is the last thing on my mind. I just don't do that anymore. I don't take up my time with that anymore. I don't take up my time being hateful anymore. I don't take up my time disliking somebody anymore. I don't care what you did to me. I don't care what you said to me. I don't even care how you discuss me behind my back. I forgive you. I forgive you. And when I say that, I mean that. It's done. I'm not sitting back saying, now I used to. Now I put a point right there. I used to say I forgave and then sit back and mauled over it and mauled over it and mauled over it. That's when I was stuck in the middle, though. And to me, being stuck in the middle is like a C in school, average. Stuck in the middle, not being able to accomplish what I need to accomplish. When all I have to do is put forth more effort to get a B and even more effort to get an A. So, I was stuck in the middle at some point. But I'm healthy. I'm forgiveness healthy. And you need to be forgiveness healthy. Yes, you do. You may not think you do, but you do. You need to be forgiveness healthy. Because forgiveness is freedom. Then you're free from the sleepless nights and the tossing and the turning and the dodging the person when you see them and trying to smile when you just want to choke them or do something to them. Free yourself. Free yourself. That's going to be very important for you to do, to free yourself. Nobody can free you but you. You want to stay in chains? Remember, I showed you the chains too. You want to stay in chains. You want to still be bound. You want to still be in pain. You want this. You want to still hate. You want revenge. You still want all them things. God bless you. But you're not going to be healthy, nor are you going to be free. So, I'm closing out this segment with, it's time to move onward. It really and truly is. Forgiveness means onward, not backwards. Onward. Get past the agony. Stop being habitually happy to remain in the pain. It's not a good look. It's not a good look on your insides, and it's not a good look on your outsides. It's not. It's not. Forgiveness means onward. It is your time in this life, in this moment, to move onward from unforgiveness. Move. You can do it. Move. Move, 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 move. Move. Move onward from unforgiveness. Move now.